I feel like the start of every video is me trying to get my dogs out of the way. Joey, I'm trying to make a video. It looks like I got punched in the face. But that's just me trying to put highlighter on. That's why this is not a makeup channel. Anyways, the reason I'm making this video is to show you guys some new books I got from a Donors Choose project. If you don't know what Donors Choose is, it is a website where you can post materials or money that you need for like a field trip or something like that, and random people or donors can fund it, and then you just get the items like sent to your classroom usually. But because of coronavirus, I got them sent to my house. When I made this Donors Choose project, it was about 2 different types of books. One, I want more books in my classroom with diverse characters and races and different backgrounds. And then the second thing was books about STEM, because I teach math and science. In this video, I'm going to show you the books that I got about diverse characters and different stories, backgrounds, religions, races, all of that kind of stuff, because I feel like a lot of people are looking for that right now, and I did not make these up myself. Trust me, I found these from different accounts. I know that I follow Diverse Reads on Instagram, and that is a great account, and they show so many good books on there. But I just wanted to show you what I got because I'm excited about it, and you might be able to use them in your classroom too. Okay, the first book is called Our American Dream, and this one is one of my favorites because it talks about multiple races and religions in one book. So I'm going to read you a few of the pages and show you the pictures just so that you can see it for yourself. It is a rhyming book, which I really like, but the first page just talks about how we all came to America and have the same dream. The second page shows this family here, and it talks about how she came from Syria, but now she's in Congress, and she wears her hijab proudly, and she promotes equal rights and stuff like that. The next page shows this cute little teacher here and says she came to America and she's a dreamer, she works hard, and she wants to get her green card. The next page, it shows this picture, and it talks about how they were born this way, so they came to America because they believe love is love. They're fighting for equal rights and to love each other without judgment. This one, it talks about adoption. So this family lived in America, but they adopted a baby from out of the States. This pretty little girl here who's painting, she's from Russia, and she wants to express herself through art. And this is my favorite page. Okay, this page. So it shows this girl here on the computer, and it says, Karima loves computers, a girl born to code. Her American dream is a sight to behold. She moved here for college, decided to stay. She started a tech company. As a boss lady, she slays. How cute. And it tells a few more stories of different people, but then the last page is them all sitting at a table together, and it says, we look not to build walls, but to make tables longer. We gather side by side because diversity makes us stronger. So yeah, I just thought this one was super cute because it addresses a lot of different cultures and races and countries all in one book. This is the next book. It has an adorable cover of this little girl with big curly hair, and the title is Don't Touch My Hair by Sharee Miller. It kind of reminds me of the book Hair Love, if you've read that one. It's about this little girl who has this big, beautiful hair, and everywhere she goes, people always want to touch her hair, but she doesn't like that. So also the pictures are really cute. Like this is the first page. It says, Aria, and this is my hair. And it just talks about how she goes to different places and people always ask her to touch her hair. And she says, I get very good at avoiding hands. I have to start looking for ways to hide my hair. The next few pages, she goes to like different places in her mind, like the jungle, outer space, and she tries to avoid people touching her hair in those places. At the end, she gets upset and she finally uses her voice to scream out, don't touch my hair. And this page says, this is my hair. It's great that you love it. I love it too. But just please look and don't touch without my permission. In the last page, she talks about how once she told everybody how she feels, it feels nice to walk down the street. And sometimes if you ask nicely, she might still say yes. So I really like this one, not only because of the cute pictures and the cute message, but also because this little girl kind of reminds me of one of my students. And I think she might be excited when she sees this. The next one is called Say Something by Peter H. Reynolds, and although they are cartoon characters, obviously I do love the diversity on the front cover. I think this book is especially important right now with everything that's going on because it's all about, you know, saying something or using your voice. So the very first page says, "The world needs your voice." And she says, "Mine?" It says, "Yes, yours. Go ahead. It doesn't need to be perfect as long as you speak from your heart." So I think this book is perfect for kids and could be a really great conversation starter when it comes to talking about racism and everything that is going on right now. It goes on to talk about how you don't have to just use your words, you can use your actions or your creativity, and then each page kind of brings up a problem. So like if you see someone lonely, say something. If you have an idea, say something. If you're angry, say something. If you see an injustice, say something peacefully or inspire others to do the same. So perfect for everything that is happening right now. I mean, this book would be so great to have in a classroom. The next one I got is called Jabari Jumps, and it is a super cute story about a little boy who overcomes his fear of jumping off the diving board. So it says he just finished his swim lessons and he goes to the pool, he sees the diving board and all the other kids jumping off of it, and he wants to do the same, but then he kind of is hesitant. You know, he lets other people cut him in line, and then when he gets to the top, he says, I think I didn't do my stretches, or something cute like that. He says, "I forgot to do my stretches," he said to his dad. "Stretching is very important," said his dad. So he climbs down the ladder and he starts doing his stretches. Eventually, his dad talks to him. It says, "It's okay to feel a little scared," said his dad. "Sometimes I feel a little scared. I take a deep breath and tell myself I'm ready. And you know what? Sometimes it stops feeling scary and it feels a lot like a surprise." So he takes a deep breath and he climbs back up, and then he ends up saying, "You know what? I love surprises," and he jumps off. And basically it's just a cute story about, you know, overcoming your fear. And I love the message that it's okay to be scared sometimes. So super cute book about this little boy overcoming his fear. This one's been on my list for a long time, so I was super excited when I got it. It's called Julian is a Mermaid. What I really like about this book is the pictures kind of do most of the talking. Like, there's not many words. So it's about a little boy named Julian, and he is with his abuela. They are on the bus when Julian sees some mermaids, and he really likes mermaids. And then it kind of shows the pictures. There's no words on this page, but it shows him like kind of becoming a mermaid. So he like takes off his clothes and he's swimming, and then all these fish and everything kind of turn him into a mermaid, but it's all in his imagination. There's a couple pages of that. And then when he gets off the bus, they go to his abuela's house, and she says, "I'm gonna go get a shower," and he starts playing around and dressing up like a mermaid. And like I said, a lot of it is just pictures. So like there's no words on this page, but you can infer or tell that he's looking up at the curtain and he thinks this curtain would help him become a mermaid. So he takes it off, and then he, you know, wraps it around himself, and then he's walking around, and his grandma comes out and says, "Oh," and he gets nervous that she's going to be upset, and he says, "Uh-oh." Instead, his grandma has a surprise for him. She hands him like a beaded or pearled necklace, and then she says she has somewhere to take him. So then his abuela takes him somewhere, and he sees all these mermaids, and it says, "Mermaids," whispers Julian, and the grandma says, "Like you, let's join them." And she encourages him to go out and dance with the mermaids. So overall, super cute book about being yourself and not really caring what other people think. And then also the other aspect of this book that I love is that the abuela is so supportive, and she sees that he wants to be a mermaid, so she like gives him a necklace and is like, let's go be mermaids. And she goes with him and just does what he wants to do. This one's called We Came to America, and it is by Faith Ringgold. I also love the illustrations in this book. It's very similar to the first book I showed about how there's like different cultures all in the same book. So the first page says, "We came to America, every color, race, and religion from every country in the world. Some of us were already here before the others came." This is what the pictures look like on that first page, and I just think they are beautiful, so colorful, and I feel like it's not like any other book I've seen. And each page talks about different people coming to America, but I like the diversity in all the pictures. So I'll show you some of the pictures. This is one page. This is another page. Next page. And you can tell that they paid attention to the outfits and maybe the activities that they're doing to make them all different and show maybe what country they're from. This book might be really cool if you do a holidays around the world in your classroom, because maybe your kids could start to identify based on their outfits or based on the activities that they're doing what country they are coming from. But again, this is a cute one about diversity and how it makes us stronger and how we are all Americans. That's what it says on the back. We are all Americans. I plan to use most of these books during my morning circle since I do not teach reading or social studies. I like to bring up all these in my morning circle because obviously they don't really relate to math. Maybe a little bit I could bring science in, but most of the time I'm reading these books during the morning circle and talking about diversity or respect or different words like that to tie these books all together. The last book I got was one that I actually had from the library this year. I read it during Black History Month, but I knew I needed it for myself because it was so good and I did not know this story before this year. It's called Carter Reads a Newspaper. It's about Carter G. Woodson, and he is the guy who started Black History Month, which originally started as Black History Week, but I was just so amazed at this story because of how cool it was, and the kids actually really enjoyed it too. It talks about how growing up, he didn't live in like a very wealthy family and he didn't get to go to school very often. I think he went like 4 months of the year because he needed to be out making money for his family. So he ended up being a coal miner, and he met a man named Oliver Jones, and this guy always invited people over to his house to eat, but Carter was the only one who knew how to read. So when the newspaper was there, he would read them all the newspaper, and then when they'd ask him questions, he said he would have to go do the research. So he'd find out, what wars the people fought in that they were reading about, and just different stuff like that. Then he went back to school and he graduated high school, and then he actually got a PhD in history from Harvard University. So while he was in college, one of his professors said that Black people didn't have a history, and obviously Carter wanted to prove him wrong because that's not true. So he established a Negro History Week, later becoming Black History Month in February. And back then he didn't have any way to post it on social media, so he had to send it out in pamphlets and flyers and try and get it in the newspaper. So then the last page says, "The boy who began by reading the newspaper to others transformed the way people thought about history. He fought for a history based on truth, a history that includes all people. Carter G. Woodson didn't just study history, he changed it, and we can too." I love this book because not only is it a true story, but it goes to show that he used his voice and he changed something because he didn't like the way it was. All of these books can be found on Amazon, or you can look for them at your local bookstore, but I will make sure that I post the titles of all of them in the description below. I cannot wait to share these with my students this year, and I hope you guys enjoyed these suggestions. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these, or if you plan on getting any of these and reading them with your students. If you like these books and you want to see the STEM books I got from the same Donors Choose project, I will be making another video sometime this week showing those off, so make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss that video. I can't wait to hear from you guys, and we will see you next time!